After the Velma disaster on HBO Max, the mainstream media have been doing everything they can to protect Mindy Kaling from the backlash she so rightfully deserves. Amid Velma pushback, Mindy Kaling is a lightning rod held to an impossible standard, some critics say. Well, the reason that she's being held accountable for this is because she was the main face behind this. When it was announced that she would voice Velma, and then when it was announced that Velma would match her, meaning they were going to change Velma, they were going to race swap Velma so it could be a complete self-insert for Mindy Kaling, and fans on every side of this topic were not happy. You can't claim that it's just a few people out there that are racist, it's just a couple right-wingers out there that are toxic. No, nearly everyone hates Velma, and that's reflected by this audience score. A 6% on Rotten Tomatoes, a 1.3 rating on IMDb, the worst rated animated series of all time. And now people are going back and looking at all these things Mindy Kaling said in the lead up to this. We know that she said, if it pisses people off, I'm okay with that. But look at this interview that has kind of resurfaced when she was on Late Night with Seth Meyers over a year ago at this point. Let's see what the date was on this. Can we see the date? July 23rd, 2021. So we're talking about a year and a half ago. What she said, the backlash that she received, and the promises she made to what she would do with this character that I don't think they've lived up to. Let's listen to this.
They just trust me.
Right.
This is a real thing now, which is nice.
You, speaking of a legacy, you are doing a spin-off Velma show from
Yes.
Scooby-Doo, and you'll be playing Velma. And what was the response like when this news came out?
Okay, so when it was announced that I was going to do the voice of Velma, people were very supportive and happy on Twitter. And so I felt great.
Get that, the voice of Velma. When they found out that she would be voicing the character, this is, of course, before people found out that they would be race-swapping Velma, they'd be race-swapping Daphne, they'd be race-swapping Shaggy, and no longer would have the moniker Shaggy, and then Scooby-Doo wouldn't be in the show at all. So people were excited. Hey, Mindy Kaling, great, she'll be the voice of Velma. Okay, cool. We didn't know that the entire thing was going to be about woke identity politics.
Because these are really intense fans, you
Yes.
know, like cartoon, comic book, fans, those are huge fans. You know, well, you've produced animated shows before, and especially like a legacy show like this. So it's like, oh, this is great. And then it was announced about a month ago that the Velma character would be reimagined as South Asian. Mm-hmm. And people were not happy.
They weren't happy with the change.
They were not happy. There was a lot of like, so not Velma, like those kind of tweets. Right. Not the classic Velma that I'm always thinking about.
Yes, not the character. You're making a new character and you're pretending like their name is Velma when they're really nothing like Velma, because this is all about a self-insertion of Mindy Kaling into this project.
And first of all, I didn't know that she elicited such strong reactions in either direction.
I think Velma, the character, would be like flattered to know. I think she probably, in the Scooby-Doo universe, she probably thought no one was paying attention to her at all.
Well, it's like, she's such a great character. She's so smart. And
She's such a great character. I love this character. I connected with this character. I don't know why anyone would have strong feelings one way or the other. Which is it? Do you actually care about the character? Do you like the character? Do you identify with the character? All this bullshit that you spew, or are you surprised that anyone cares about this character?
I just couldn't understand how
She watched Frontline.
she is someone who's watching Frontline. Yeah. How people couldn't imagine a really smart, nerdy girl with terrible eyesight and who loved to solve mysteries could not be Indian.
Right.
Like, there are Indian nerds.
You could have made a story about an Indian nerd. Instead, you decided to race swap a character. You decided to take a character that's been around for half a century at this point and change them to make them look like you.
That shouldn't be a surprise to people. But people are like, no. And so, so I think by the way, this is a small percentage of people, but it really made me think like, okay, we got to be really careful with this character, which we will be because we really love her.
Yes,
and
I
she's
have
going
no
to
doubt about that.
have great adventures.
Oh, really careful. We were really careful with this character. We wanted to make sure we did right by this character, that people would love what we did. That small percentage of people that Mindy Kaling was referring to must have been the people that she thought would actually like this show, because that's certainly what this seems to be. Again, the lowest rated animated series of all time. That's what Velma is. This is absolutely pathetic. And the people who have gone back to this, you know, all these year and a half later, it's interesting, isn't it? 9 days ago. I find it hilarious she got only one clap in the room upon appearing on stage. The only thing that doesn't scream pathetic in this whole video is the cameraman. I mean, he had to fit her whole ego into frame. That's amazing. The part where Velma meets Galadriel and they start singing Imagine as She-Hulk twerks gave me goosebumps. The bravery and the stunnery is off the charts. As an Indian, I want to state, we didn't ask for this. Mindy Kaling, we need to be careful with this character. First episode of Velma shits on white people non-stop. I mean, over and over again. That's all these top comments are over the past 2 weeks, ever since Velma came out, is people coming back to this interview and realizing, wow, she said she's going to be careful with this character. I'd hate to see what it'd be like if they weren't careful. This is such a disaster, and Mindy Kaling is getting roasted, rightfully so. She's getting exactly what she deserves. When you set out, when you take control of these IPs, when you take control of these characters, and you go out there to insert your own identity politics, to put your woke agenda in there, regardless of the fans, regardless of the audience, regardless of all these people that have warned you not to do so, you deserve everything that comes your way. Let me know what you think about this in the comments section below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later.